It has been, what, 5 years at this IT support job, and nothing seems to ever change. Sometimes I wonder if this is my sole purpose for living, but if I don't do the job, how am I supposed to eat and have a roof above my head? It doesn't help that I'm up to my neck with expenses and can barely afford to go on vacation. God, I hate my life and this stupid societal system we live in. Why can't things be easy? But I have to suck it up like everyone else. Who am I to complain? I know for a fact that there's others who have it worse. And with that, I always shut myself up. A couple of hours into my shift, I get a live chat message from a customer who needs help with our company software. This is pretty much the norm. Sometimes I wish that the developers of this program would do their job and kill all the bugs so I don't have to deal with people yelling at me all the time. As always, I was preparing myself for the worst, but for some reason the subtle formalities gave me the impression that this person had no intention of demoralizing me. This alone actually made my whole day, but I knew that it wouldn't last long. Unfortunately, as we progressed the conversation, it came to the point where we had to talk on the phone because the information was difficult to convey through chat. I answered the phone with a typical customer service response. Out of the speaker, I heard a warm, gentle voice of a woman. It was unexpected to me. I was expecting some old lady or something, to be honest. Regardless, the fact that she sounded really cute got my full attention. We both talked and I eventually was able to resolve her issue. She thanked me and, like the small brain monkey I am, I told her that she could call my personal cell phone number anytime she needed help with something. I think I got carried away in the moment. What if she was some weirdo that had a lovely voice? Hell, she might be twice my age for all I know. I guess the best thing I could do is either ignore her calls if she does call or tell her to use the company's phone service number. But who really knows when that will be. Eventually, I found myself eating those words sooner rather than later because the next day, I received a phone call from an unknown number. Upon answering the call, a familiar voice echoed through the line. She claimed to be the lady who I helped the other day. The same lady who I gave my personal number to, in case she needed anything else. Which, again, was really stupid of me. She started the conversation with gratitude for helping her resolve any technical issues she had. No idea why though. I mean, it's kind of my job, so it's not like I have any choice in the matter. We eventually started to talk about our personal lives, which I was surprised about. She revealed that her name was Anna. She was 25 years old and was living on her own with her dog. She also revealed that she lived in the same city, which surprised me the most. At this point, knowing this much, I was pressured into revealing my age and circumstances, which you wouldn't normally tell just anyone. I'm glad, at the very least, she's about the same age, because if she was any older, I want to know how this conversation would have ended. After what felt like an hour or so, she insisted on meeting up at a local coffee shop. I was reluctant at first, considering that I didn't want to spend like $5 on a mediocre cup of joe. But she swayed me with the proposition of paying for my coffee, which I wasn't opposed to. So I agreed to meet her at whatever coffee shop she recommended. I'm not really a big coffee person, nor do I do these kinds of things, but if it's free, then I'll tolerate just about anything. We decided to meet on the following Saturday around noon. Fortunately, the place wasn't so far away where I lived, so I didn't have to wait too much on getting there. I just hope that this doesn't become awkward or anything, but I guess I'll find out. And so the week came and went like any other week before it. Soon enough, I found myself getting dressed for our meetup. I don't know why, but I made sure to dress up a little bit nicer than usual. I guess because it was a woman. I kinda wanted to impress. Within minutes, I arrived at the small local coffee shop that she recommended. Upon arrival, I felt a bit nervous due to the fact that I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I eventually calmed down and went inside. I looked around to see if I could guess which person in the shop was that woman I was supposed to meet. Then, my eyes met with this really stunning looking woman sitting alone at the corner of the shop. Could she be her? The same person I talked to on the phone? She smiled and waved at me. I guess she was. I walked towards the woman and greeted her with a handshake. We both validated our identities by saying our names in the form of a question. I guess this is Anna. She looks way different than I expected, but not in a bad way. More like she exceeded my expectations. So much, in fact, that I feel like a loser compared to her. I sat down on the other side of the table, perplexed as to what to talk about. Anna, on the other hand, didn't seem to be bothered by the silence. She eventually shattered it by asking me how my work was going. I started ranting and telling her some of the weirdest encounters while on the job, some of which made her giggle. For some reason, seeing her smile made me feel hopeful, as though a light from the sun slowly made its way inside a dark room. We both talked about our struggles, but I eventually asked her a question that's been on my mind for a while. What made her want to meet up with me? A complete stranger. Is this something she normally does? It was a strange but forward question, but I had to know nonetheless. She responded with a smile and said because she knows me. I was puzzled. What does she mean by that? How does she know me? Have we met before? I had to know, otherwise it would bother me for who knows how long. I eventually asked her to see what she had to say about it. She looked at me for a second and said that she's been watching me for a long time. At this point, I was freaked out. Watching me? To what extent? I looked at her with a worried face. She just kept smiling as though it was a completely normal thing to do. This is getting too weird for me. Even though she's attractive, the situation just got out of hand. Maybe she's some psycho that murders people when they least expect it. The last thing I want is to be found in a body bag at the back of some dark alley. And so I forced a smile with the best of my abilities and told her that it was getting late. She looked worried and asked why I was leaving so soon. Did she not realize what she said was really disturbing? I didn't answer clearly and just told her that I really needed to go. She then quickly grabbed my sleeve as I was getting up from the table and tugged me back towards her. With a small mischievous chuckle, she said that she'll always be watching. I pulled my arm away from her and power walked out of the coffee shop. That was officially the most disturbing encounter I have ever experienced. Like, what the hell is wrong with this person? This is the last time I'll ever accept an invitation from some stranger, no matter how nice they seem to be. Before I went home, I decided to make a quick trip to the grocery store to pick up some ingredients. After an experience like that, I need something good to get my mind off of things. Moments later, I arrived at home with a sigh of relief. At least now I won't have to deal with her anymore. As I made my way towards my room, I went through my phone to delete her off of my phone and blocked her number. Doing so would mean the end of our connection. I just hope she doesn't harass me through my job help desk chat. Thinking about it just gives me the creeps. As I lay down onto my messy bed, I looked over at the corner of my room. I initially just wanted to lay and not think of anything, but that quickly got interrupted by the sight of a strange foreign stuffed bear. Have I always had a stuffed bear? I don't recall ever getting one from anyone. In fact, I don't even remember having it in my room before I left. What the hell? I quickly got up from my bed and cautiously grabbed a hold of this unfamiliar stuffed toy. I closely examined it and noticed a shining glare within one of its eyes. There's no way. I mean, who would do that? Wait. You're fucking kidding me. I look closely at the teddy bear's eyes, and it appears to be a tiny camera autofocusing on my face. Is this what she meant by always watching me? I grabbed the bear with a fierce grip and threw it into my kitchen's trash can. Luckily for me, today is trash day. I tied up the trash bag and delivered it to the apartment complex dumpster. On the way back, I saw a girl standing in front of my door. It was that psycho. She did this. It has to be her. I dashed towards her with anger and cussed her off. That alone got her attention. She looked back with a grin on her face. I went up to her and punched her in her face. What's up with this girl?